Saudis put up this kind of money, I think the fight would happen. Will the Saudis care to put up this kind of money? I don't know. That might be overpricing it even to that. Probably Canelo's probably number 3 right now. I don't even think he beats Morel at this point. But I'm not sure he beats Munguia. The Munguia fight is right there.
You heard it from yourself from an emotional Paulie Malignaggi, ex-champion, now boxing commentator, analyst. And you're supposed to be objective, right? You're supposed to keep your feelings out of it. But obviously, like content creators, fanatic fans, they can't keep their heart out of it. And Paulie Malignaggi is one of Canelo's biggest detractors. Now he's going off the deep end. He's saying Canelo is the 3rd best super middleweight in the division. Morel and Benavidez are better. Not just that, he believes Munguia and Canelo are a 50-50 fight. He doesn't even think Canelo's gonna get past Munguia. Now I'm picking Canelo to knock out Munguia, but it only takes one day to get old, like I said, with the Terence Crawford and Tim Tszyu fight. This does apply to the Canelo and Munguia fight. Canelo could look old in the ring, and this could be the time Munguia shines. But until that happens, Canelo is the best at 168, regardless what Paulie feels about Canelo, which he shouldn't go by his feelings. He should be calling it like it is. Canelo has the best resume at 168. I don't see how Benavidez or Morel can leapfrog him. And when you look at Benavidez' best wins, the best wins he has is over Caleb Plant, which Canelo knocked out and Benavidez couldn't. And then another win over Demetrius Andrade, who is really, to me, a naturally 160-pounder. And even though I see a lot of potential in David Morrell, I like David Morrell. I think David Morrell potentially could be better than David Benavidez. But with that being said, David Morrell has 10 fights and his resume right now is doo-doo. Besides, we don't even know if David Benavidez is going to stay at 168 or not. We know Turki Al-Sheikh gave him the hookup at 175, but that doesn't mean anything until he physically goes to 175 and fight Volstik. I mean, Canelo's a 4-division champ, undisputed at 168. I just don't see Paulie Malignaggi's logic of putting Dave Morrell and David Benavidez in front of Canelo Alvarez, who has beaten 3 champions at 168 to become undisputed. And these were undefeated champions that David Benavidez had a chance to fight, but he didn't do it. So how can you put these guys in front of Canelo Alvarez? How many champions have David Benavidez beat? And this is what I'm talking about, facts over feelings. I don't have a dog in the fight, but when David Benavidez was WBC champion, he had a chance to unify and he didn't do it. Canelo went up there and done it. Fought 3 undefeated champions and became the first undisputed champion at 168 in the 4-belt era. Benavidez could have did it. Why didn't he do it? And that is the $1 million question Paulie needs an answer from me. Anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. Let me know what you think about Paulie Malignaggi's comments. Jay Beezy, I'm gone.